This is Discover Crypto, and it looks like Bitcoin manipulation is finally going to the wayside. We see a nice green candle, nice little pumps here. And not only that, we're seeing these pumps roll over into the altcoin sector. Wow, look at that ETH pump. We need to hit refresh because there's no way that's true. Wow, it is. ETH is now up 8.4%. XRP, you're holding XRP. It's a good day for you. Maybe not a good month, but you are up 6.3% for the day here. Solana, 10 point. Woo, look at that, 10%, 10.5% runner. Dogecoin also with the 10% pump. Cardano said, hold my beer. I got an 11% pump for you, folks. You think those altcoin pumps are good at 9 or 10%. Look at that. And Chainlink really bucking the trend here. And I feel glad that we were bullish. We did flip bullish yesterday. If you watched last night's video, we said, look out for the pump. The pump is coming. But Drew, tonight I heard you're going to talk about the manipulation and maybe how the manipulation is over. We're going to dive into it a little as well.
Absolutely, man. And it feels good to see a little bit of the breadth to the upside come back to crypto for sure. I caught a large majority of this pump from 62,000 up to the 67 on 49x leverage. So I'm feeling fantastic. And, really the best case scenario for us of a washout and pump back up have happened last night. Now it's a question of, can we hold it? You were showing me some interesting things in terms of potential bear divs that we got to watch out for, be cognizant of.
That's a good point. Let's just cut to it here. Now, we are seeing a little bit of overbought on the smaller time frames. I'm not saying it can't continue to be overbought, but you can definitely see the RSI as the price is going higher. The RSI is heading lower. You can see it on the shorter time frames, of course, like the 1 minute, the 5 minute. You're also starting to see it in some of these more medium time frames. Look at that 20-minute bearish div right there. You can go to the 30-minute, a little bit more of a hidden bearish div, but let's go cut the middle. Yeah, 25. We do have a bear div starting to potentially form. As you can see on the 5 minute, we are starting to get a little bit overheated here. So we were talking right before, Drew. Looks like we might sweep this little cluster right here. We have already peeked our head into this little bit of a wick. This is going to be from Sunday. So now we're going back all the way into the weekend here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we grab this cluster and then maybe move to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the liquidation heat map since we're kind of talking about this same phenomenon here. So we're going to go to symbol, switch this to 12-hour, and see, did we sweep? Yeah, we swept the liquidity here, I could brighten it up and make it seem more, whoa, more scary. Let's not do that. Let's keep it a little bit muted here. Now it looks like big cluster down here. So if the price gets pushed down to this level, to this bright yellow line, longs are going to get liquidated. So there's an incentive for market makers and exchanges for the price to head that low. So just a little bit of caution. But right now, the bulls are in control. And Drew, how about this coincidence? This is from Discover Crypto's X account here, the day after Jane Street gets sued for alleged insider trading. First time in 2 months, a full day of Bitcoin trading without a motivated seller taking out the entire bid stock to crush momentum. And then the candles turn green, Drew. Any thoughts on, I mean, you're doing a little research for your video. Can you give us any kind of sneak peek on this guy right here, the Jane Street, I believe CEO, correct? Co-founder and executive.
Right. It's, he strikes me as someone that hates humanity. He also strikes someone as that basically wants to destroy crypto with the leverage that Jane Street has. It accounts for much more of the U.S. trading financial sector than we want to admit. And it's
actually something like 14% of all trades is Jane Street. Well, I can't remember the exact 10%. Percentage.
Yeah, it was 10% of all trades, Jane Street being behind. And there's a very, very scary punchline that I got to at the end of my research that's coming out in tonight's video that's not going to affect our little crypto market of $2-3 trillion. This is a likelihood to affect a $30 to $40 trillion market class. So he is behind a lot of crazy manipulation, and there's been a lot of allegations behind it, but I peeled back many layers of that onion for tonight's video, and I'm super excited about it.
You might end up crying after you watch this video, folks. Now, we do have, I would just say, some false information going out there. Jane Street ordered to halt manipulative Bitcoin trading. Never believe Mike Alfred. Mike Alfred, is a meme account. I mean, Sin City Crypto with the hot take right here is calling him a 10-pound. See you next Tuesday. We all know that Mike is trolling everybody. It's a meme account, just memeing. So If you see Mike Alfred, ignore. I just want to put that on your radar here. He always has a call with an inside guy. You could actually look up Mike Alfred phone. You'll see scores of deleted tweets. And so when he gets made fun of too much, he'll just delete the tweet. So just ignore all Mike Alfred. But it does look like potentially after the lawsuit, we don't see that dumping algorithm getting triggered here. Now, the rumors are swirling over this Jane Street selling algorithm. The price remained at more than 2%, up more than 2% at the time of writing, while crypto market participants became increasingly interested in the potential deliberate Bitcoin price suppression. A theory circulating revolved around secretive quantitative investment firm Jane Street, now subject to legal action by Terraform Labs. We broke down the entire lawsuit yesterday. If you missed that stream, go check out the beginning of that stream here. And they're essentially pointing the finger at them for the suppression of Bitcoin's price. And now Jane Street may have been forced to suspend its trading strategy, leaving the market to adjust higher. But Jane Street did tell Cointelegraph this is baseless, opportunistic claims. They do want to throw that out. Let me read this post right here. Everyone on crypto Twitter right now. Jane Street got sued. 10 a.m. manipulation stopped. Bitcoin finally free. Do you really think they're that stupid? You're talking about Jane Street, top quant firm, and they supposedly ran a visible daily pattern, let everyone track it, and then shut it off after headlines. Be serious. And so they're suggesting, Drew, that maybe they're going to manipulate still. They're just going to hide it and obfuscate it better.
Absolutely. It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo show. You know, your villain will just put on a new mask. You're still going to have a villain. You know, at the end of the show, it's about, and it's been very interesting every time that, you know, the 10 a.m. manipulation went viral, then it shifted time frames, 8 p.m. You know, so it's not going to stop manipulation, but at least we can try to highlight this. I mean, and this guy tries to stay very unknown.
Never trust a man who wears a blazer with jeans. Take it to the bank.
That's all right. I don't discount that take, DZ. And you know, really any effective altruist makes me sick to my stomach when I really learn about their intentions. You know, and his background. Super crazy.
Jane Street is known to be a EA hotbed. It's an ideology. It stands for effective altruism. Some would say it's not a non-humanist movement. There's some elements within it that do want severe population control, but now we're talking about like cricket milk and stuff. So we're really getting a little off the weeds here. I do want to talk about last night's video. If you missed it, check it out. I talk about the IGV. This is a tech sector. It's a software IBIT ETF. So this is from BlackRock, and this software ETF highly tracks Bitcoin's price. And it looks like they just had their biggest volume in history on the 4th. The next day, second biggest volume. Yesterday, third biggest volume, or sorry, that'd be 2 days ago. And then yesterday, fourth biggest volume in history. Clear signs of capitulation. And in last night's video, I talk about IGV's technical pattern. It was a quadruple bottom. And within the psychology of the quadruple bottom, you got to look at volume. So fitting our thesis, this was me calling for the pump, everybody. Here's another sign of a pump. This is from James Van Stratton, about 50,000 followers here. He works at CoinDesk. Bitcoin supply in loss just hit 10 million coins. It's the fourth highest reading ever. A further 70,000 coins are in loss from purchases between February 6th and today. So I'm guessing this might have new information once February is added. Circulating supply hits 20 million Bitcoin next week. If you're not aware, we're going to mine the 20 millionth Bitcoin. It's only going to be 21 million. So that means 50% in loss since it's 10 million. History suggests that's enough capital destruction for a bear market bottom. Open this in a new tab here. Let me click that. Let me click this. Let me click that. Here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. So here you can see the 50. All right, so this is the 10 million threshold. And we don't know the exact number. I'd have to go back and see how much Bitcoin is in circulation. So I don't have off the top of my head what percentages this is. But right here, we're at 50%. And when you just look at the number of coins, we're in a very, very good spot, Drew. To me, this is showing signs of potential bear market bottoms for sure. And you can kind of look up when it peaks. Because this is a metric that measures loss, the peak will be the peak bottom. That's just how it's going to work, because Just like if everybody's on profit, that means you're at a new all-time high. It has to mean that by definition. And so when you're at peak loss, it has to be the bottom by definition. We're approaching historical bottoms.
I feel really confident about my multi-cycle trading in Bitcoin, looking at this chart, realizing how many people have bought the top. It is aggravating to a degree because everyone shows up and starts hammer buying just because of green candles. And you say it best, DZ. It's like price going up is the best advertiser for anything, right? But it gives me a lot of confidence in the process I've used for a long time. And, this is where we have to be careful. Like, you can buy an Apex asset, but if you buy it at the wrong time, you're going to be in pain for years, right? So, having patience and having a game plan and following through with it, I think matters not just for crypto, but, getting involved with the AI super cycle, nuclear energy, all of it, man. This is a very interesting.
Yeah, it reminds
chart.
me of this post. I'll show that chart in a second. Payment stocks are dumping because AI agents will only use crypto, but crypto is dumping because quantum computers will steal it. Quantum is dumping because analysts realize it's still decades away. Kind of sums up. There's a nice little just heuristic there to think about. Look at this though. This is parallel channel. It's a little bit funky with a thicker line. I mean, I could kind of show you here. He has a thicker line, so it kind of hides a little bit of the I don't want to say suspicious, let's make sure it's within the range. Basically, he kind of like normally it would look like this, and he just all right, hey, look, guys, it touches there, but still pretty interesting metric when you look at this. So it shows the tops on a log chart. This is the 2017 top. Then we had the bear market bottom a year later. 2021 top, slightly higher in November. Bear market bottom a year later. Here's our top right there. We hit the bottom, but we never hit the top. Wave 5, if this were to complete, $400,000 Bitcoin. So there's your hopium. I haven't verified it myself. Let's look at something real quick.
400K Bitcoin would make me feel just fine.
413 days. So that means it might even be higher. 413 days is what we're going to measure here.
What do we got? Oh my God. It's almost
$800,000 Bitcoin. That's why he didn't do that metric. It looks like he maybe just very, very short bull run. I mean, you can see, compared to this distance, really, this is the bottom. So, I mean, all of that is the bull run. And so, I mean, he's very, very narrow green bar here, green rectangle. So, a little bit suspicious. He had it. Where did he have it? 400K would be. I mean, he basically had it like teleporting there, I guess. Yeah, like I said, his chart's a little bit funky for sure.
That's expecting things to go right way too quick in your mind, right? And that's where the get rich quick scheme mentality makes people basically give up too quick as well, because they expect all the money to just flow in their hands and within the month, within the year, and it takes time. And that post you put up about quantum computing being ahead of its time and all these things, I feel like what we talk about and what we look at are the correct asset classes and economic expansion points, but it takes time to play out in reality, right? It definitely does. So Bitcoin is being vicious right now. Holy cow, we're at 67.5.
Yeah, let's go to the 5 minute. Yeah, we're still pumping, and I'm guessing this RSI might be resetting. It's starting to reset, starting to, render at least this portion of the bear div obsolete. We go to the higher time frames is still, you still could potentially still have some strong bear divs on the 20, the 25. Let's go to the 7. Let's start kind of mixing this. All right, so it is starting to rise. Let's go to the 1 minute. Right now, folks, this is all short-term time frames. We are aware. It is starting to roll over on the 1 minute, so might see this 5 minute continue to slop to the downside here. But the RSI is showing a lot of strength right now. So what's some of the fuel behind this rally? Could be Wall Street. Does look like Wall Street finally broke their streak. Just want to share it here. Look how bad it was prior. This is weekly. So, we're still waiting for this week to conclude. But as of now, this week is looking good. 1.3 billion, 1.5 billion, 300 million, 300 million, 300 million. And now so far this week, we are starting to look a little positive. Now, this is only Monday and Tuesday. So I got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This could turn red. But as of now, Drew, I'm going to make the prediction. I think it's going to stay the green. Type in green, type in red. Drew, what's your prediction? Is this going to end the week in the green, end the week in the red?
I think it's going to end the week in the green. Something that it's, I'm still digging into, but there is a connection between the iShares, iBit, Bitcoin ETF, and Jane Street as well, DZ. The iBit ETF has some heavy connections to Jane Street. So maybe being snuffed out of under the rug like a cockroach, they're going to take violence out on the markets because of that.
Drew, we didn't plan this, but this is like the third time this morning. You're perfectly segueing us to our next post right here. Strategy, become the most heavily shorted U.S. stock. But that also means there's a other side to this bet. That's iBit. That's BlackRock's ETF. So short bets on Strategy are now 14% of its market cap. The highest among all stocks, at least the ones tracked by Goldman Sachs here. Market participants say the elevated short interest, the reason there's higher people or a higher amount of shorts on MicroStrategy is the Bitcoin basis or carry trade. I'm going to break this down in 1 second real simply. But firms like Jane Street building large positions, and both BlackRock and MicroStrategy, and they suggest a paired long and short open at the same time instead of an outright bearish environment here. So Coinbase is fourth. They're 11% of their market cap. So MicroStrategy, the most shorted stock in the world, Coinbase coming in at number 4. I'm guessing those people shorting coin aren't feeling good today. Drew, we are going to check out the coin options I told people about yesterday. I gave you the entry. I told you the date. I said I am buying. It was 90 cents. We're gonna check on these coin options just over the last 5 hours of trading time. So because there's not really overnight trading on these options here. So we're gonna break this down imminently, folks. But what the heck is this? What's a basis trade, right? So one explanation for this is the basis trade. A basis trade is a strategy that seeks to profit from the price difference between the two related markets. So in this context, someone like Jane Street, they'll buy BlackRock's ETF for Bitcoin, but they'll simultaneously short MicroStrategy. So they'll profit from the narrowing of the premium from the Bitcoin holding as it narrows, plus any funding from paired futures. So they get all these little arbitrage, all these little micro percentage points. You do $1 billion trade, that micro percentage turns into some real funds there. So that's what you're seeing.
Wow.
But now we got to throw Saylor under the bus. He's about to get DZ'd. If you followed Michael Saylor's advice last year, what's the advice? Sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. He said that February of 2025. So if you listened, you're now down a kidney and $20,000.
You ain't getting that kidney back either. Oh my Lord.
Why did I wake up in this bathtub in Bangkok?
Yeah. Things escalated quickly there.
All right, I wouldn't go to Bangkok. All right, I'd go somewhere else in Asia. All right, let's just throw that out there.
Where would you go?
I don't want no rumors.
I'm curious. If you were to take an Asian vacation, where would it go? Where would it go?
The wife wants to go to Japan, so we'd probably go to Japan.
Okay.
What about
I'd probably check out North Korea. If everything went south for me in life, I'd probably just take a trip to North Korea.
You would probably go to North Korea. Chat, what do you feel about, should Drew, yes or no, should Drew try to go to North Korea? They do have select few people get to go there for tourism.
Didn't Dennis Rodman get to go? I think Dennis Rodman was able to get in there.
Well, he's friends. He's friends with the guy, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I'm not friends with Kim Jong-un.
Well, if you Jack Pembroke just put this out 12 days ago. He stealth camped outside North Korea. Is a pretty interesting channel. I like this guy's YouTube account. He's got a good YouTube channel. So there you go, Drew. If you want any tips, go watch that video. All right. So Michael Saylor, you're down a kidney. You're down $20,000. I know it hurts. It hurts, Drew. But did you know that Michael Saylor went to Shark Tank?
I didn't. I missed that. I don't have television, so I missed that.
Are you one of those people?
I am one of those people, DZ. Okay, I have the computer. I don't have standard television, and if I do, I don't even know about it. I like treating...
Oh, so you have a TV in your living room?
I do. I have a big TV.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were like full-blown freak.
No. I want the information on the TV to teach me something. That's the rule here.
All right. Well, this is only a minute. And trust me when I say you want to stick around for the punchline at the end here. So this is Michael Saylor on Shark Tank.
Hello, Sharks. I'm looking for 1% of $200 trillion of digital capital backed by digital credit in exchange for 0% of my company, MicroStrategy.
You haven't explained how I make money, which is the most important thing.
Because there's no chance of you making money on this.
First, we had Bitcoin, which is digital capital. Now we have Strategy pioneering digital credit. In the future, we're going to have digital money. We issue shares of our common stock to pay the dividend of our preferred equities. Then we use our different preferred equities to pay for the dividends of their other preferred equities.
Let's leave all the passion and all this kumbaya. Leave it aside for a second. In the end, Shark Tank's about making money.
Isaac Newton would have invented Bitcoin if he could have. In fact, he probably did.
I'm so frustrated. I have no idea. I really don't know what your business is. I don't know what your strategy is. I really don't know anything.
I went to MIT. We sold Nike Dunks and they're trading for like $2,000 on eBay.
Why are you here?
Sure, you can invest in a company like Nvidia or Microsoft or Tesla or Amazon or Apple that's trading at a 20 to 60x price to book. Or you can trade our company at a 1.19 MNAV during a Bitcoin bear market.
You're out of here. See you, buddy. Goodbye. Take the broom.
Jeffrey Epstein said I was autistic.
Everybody who's watching, don't buy it. I'm out.
DZ,
Ouch.
I couldn't help but compare your head to Kevin O'Leary's head. As we're watching that, I just couldn't help it.
All right, hold on. I took
Yeah.
hold on. let me grab this again.
I couldn't help
Let me
but to
grab
put the
this head
comparison
again.
there.
All right.
And chat, help me out. Am I wrong in this? I mean, it's like DZ is at least from the same country or something. Like Kevin O'Leary. Look at that. There it is. The look, the nose. Okay. Yes. That's it.
My wife
Right-
drove the boat.
I just had to call it out. You actually talked to Kevin O'Leary. You were on.
Yeah,
you
I was
were
on
in
Kevin
front of-
O'Leary's TV show. It was called Money Court, and I fought over a Bored Ape NFT in this dramatized, small claims court television shows. I'd rather have been in front of Judge Judy.
Yeah.
But I will say, Kevin O'Leary, when they're like action, sharp as attack. The guy is really smart. He does move a little bit slowly, but the guy is definitely an intelligent individual. DZ O'Leary. I'm
It's
leery
gotta
about
happen.
this connection here.
Yeah.
Speaking of island, though, so remember, Epstein said he's autistic. Well, this guy has been to the island, talking about Adam Back, business with Lutnick, spearheading the spam propagation with Core. This guy loves your Bitcoin blockchain being bogged down with random images, some of which could be put on there, which could be an illegal image. Now he's unveiling the new Morpheus look. Chat, I just wanted to get your ranking. 1 out of 10. What are we feeling about the Morpheus look? Is this a 10 out of 10, Drew? Is this a 1 out of 10? Do we like Adam Bax, one of the founding pioneers of Bitcoin? Some literally say he's Satoshi. McAfee, John McAfee, actually thinks Adam Back is Satoshi. If you look into it, it's because Adam Back is British. White paper uses British spellings. So this is the guy who a lot of people say is Satoshi. What do you feel about the Morpheus look, Drew?
I like that he's wearing a suit jacket. I do like that he's wearing a suit jacket. I think
Not
that
the
we need
negative
to-
5. Geez, he's at least a 2 out of 10.
Well, his neck is very, very thin, right? And
He's a
if you-
pencil neck.
He's a pencil neck. I feel like us as men in the United States culture need to start dressing like we respect ourselves more.
We need to start wearing suits on airplanes again.
you
That's
know,
what I say.
like I just feel like it. I
This
feel
guy's
like we need to
asking
start
this.
doing that.
That's the real question. But is he wearing jeans?
Yeah.
If he's
I
wearing
think
jeans.
you offended a lot of cowboys with that blazer and jeans comment there too.
All right.
Some
Sorry, I don't
Texans
want to
up in
dress
here.
like Cat Turd from X. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to dress like a washed up 90s country singer
yeah.
who's
if I'm
like living
wearing-
vicariously through their children's music career.
Like I definitely have a blazers. I have many blazers, but if I'm wearing a blazer, it's got to go with some slacks for sure. Like I can't. Like I have good jeans. It's got to go with slacks. I can't do the. I'll change my entire outfit to go cut some trees down instead of wearing that. So.
Hey, I'll do yard work in a suit. I don't care. I shower in this thing. All right, let's talk about this T-bill auction. A lot of people are erroneously seeing this as this very bullish circumstance. This is not bullish. I just want to put this on your radar. There's a lot of bull tards out there. I'm just kidding. Now, you know who I'm talking. I joke. I'm just jester maxing here. But basically, the T-bill auction schedule, if you roll it forward for, I think, next 6-7 months, so basically going into August here, there's a lot of debt coming to maturity. And so when this 4-week bill comes to maturity, so they buy debt, right? They have this debt, injecting money, quote unquote, if they buy it outright. But sometimes that matures, and so they just roll it over. This is called a rollover. This is not adding new liquidity. This is rolling over. So it's like, imagine if you had a credit card and it was only like this 1% interest or 2% interest, kind of like what we're seeing with some of these T-bills. You're not creating new debt. You're paying off the debt, and then you're just rolling it over. So you're not like, oh my God, they paid off, $1,000 in debt. No, they spent $1,000 in debt to roll over new debt. Now the new debt's like $1,010 or something.
Right.
But so I shared a post here. That's gross issuance, not net liquidity. So this is just gross issuance is the technical term. Most of it is rollover, not even close to COVID quantitative easing. I don't know if Grok, actually, I didn't answer. Yes, correct. Well, there you go. I like this one, though. This is the one I was looking at. No, this doesn't mean 12 trillion is being injected. This is planned auctions where they sell short-term debt to investors. They hand over cash to the Treasury. Treasury spends that cash on just another 6-month note, a rollover. It's borrowing and fiscal financing, not liquidity injection. Net effect depends. Now, you do get bullishness when it's a lot of long-term debt.
Mhm.
The problem is it's not that much long-term debt. And so, you can paint a picture where like, oh yeah, this 10-year debt rolling over into a bunch of 6-month. Sure, I'll listen to your arguments there. There's compelling arguments. But this, as you can see, it's a lot of short-term debt, folks. So just an important distinction I wanted to throw you guys. Let's see. It's not the Fed. It's not M2. It's not even global liquidity. A lot of people just really roasting Marty Party for the replies here. But there's a lot of people just like, oh, debt. Yeah. Not exactly 12 trillion. Yeah, there you go right there. This kind of points to, yeah, sure, you get that little bit of an increase, that couple percentage points, but not a massive increase in liquidity there. Now let's do one clip, just one section of one clip from the presidential address. Drew, you streamed it.
Yes.
Just, briefly, what were your thoughts about it?
When Biden was president, I didn't vote for him, but I still wanted him to succeed because he was my president, because I live in the US. And seeing half of the chamber there refuse to stand up for the betterment of the country in general is disgusting to me. But I acknowledge that people are kind of in shock and awe of Trump's later in his lifetime no F's to give format. But I think that this country has hit a cultural crescendo. And I think Elon Musk said it best, where it's if this country is on a path to basically be denaturalized and the existing culture to be snuffed out all through acceptance, maybe we shouldn't be as accepting of that. That's just my takeaway from it. It was insane to see half of the chamber of this elected officials not stand up for the betterment of the country. I think it's
I think that's more performative theater. I don't think we can delve into their thoughts by not standing. And I would always it's kind of, I was talking to family where I pointed to there's a kid with cancer and people didn't stand for this kid with cancer. And I don't think people who didn't stand hate kids with cancer. I think it's an optics thing. It's a signal thing. It doesn't really tell us much about their actual thoughts though. So it's a lot of performative theater in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they have to be in lock and toe with each other on the Democrat side, but I find nuance in things that I disagree with Trump on, even though, I voted for him. I can still hold him accountable. And
well, I remember when Biden was talking, he said free ice cream for everybody. Marjorie Taylor Greene stays sat. That's was our representative. Of course,
free
she's
ice
retiring.
Cream, yeah. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's a CrossFitter though, so that probably affected her in a different way, in a health way. But let's watch this clip.
All right, this is a short clip here. It's talking about the banning inside trading.
Cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Talk about politicians specifically. All right, ban politicians from trading stocks. Smash that like button. Here comes the punchline.
She's standing. She's happy.
That's Warren standing, yeah.
That's actually nice to see. Look at his look.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Here it
Did
comes.
Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here? Doubt it.
They acted the same as when a classroom says, so-and-so, go to the principal's office. Oh, I thought I was watching Saved by the Bell and Screech just try to hit on a lady. What
Yeah.
the heck are y'all doing, Congress? Both
That
sides.
was incredible. We played bingo too. We played bingo. The White House put out a bingo card. Kelly sent me a text message with the White House bingo card. We didn't get a bingo. He didn't bring up the fat shot. So we missed the fat shot comment.
I'll tell you what it reminded me. This is going to be a very specific joke for people who watch a lot of Seinfeld, but there was a 2-year period where Kramer would walk in a room and the audience would go nuts and he'd have to like wait 5 seconds before he could even say his line of dialogue. That's the vibe it was giving me. It was like Kramer just popped into the room and he opened the door crazy. It was just a bit much. It was a bit much. All right, let's talk about Trump's claims about the economy. Portfolios, they're way up. They're way up. What about crypto? Well, I have the prices for you, Drew. It was a little bit worse than I expected with the crypto portfolios. If you invested 10K when Trump took office, you'd have 6,000 in Bitcoin. Some of these, I'm like, is this even right? I haven't double checked, but 4,000 in ETH or XRP, 2,900 in Solana, 2,300 in Doge or ADA. AVAX, you down to 21. SWI, just down to casual, 83%. Same for DOT. Athena, just 90%. Glad we dumped that stinker. Eventually they'll probably turn on tokenomics, but right now the insiders are just dumping on us. Aptos, woo, that one
hurts.
stings. Trump, is Trump really down 95%? It probably is, isn't it? Is Melania really down 99%?
It is.
There's no
It
way.
is. Yeah, go check him out. I mean, Trump it pumped by like 4% or something, and it's at $3. Trump coin itself came out. I bought it fast at like $5 and dumped it at 17, and it's now pumping up to $3. Melania,
I'm trying to find the spot trade. What's the ticker for Melania? Does anyone know the Melania ticker?
I'll look for it in the background here. I know Melania is down exponentially though. It rose to tens of billions of dollars, and then has it's just Melania, official Melania meme. On the day, it's up slightly, but yeah, look at that. Look at that. Brutality.
99%? Oh
Yep.
my God.
99.5%,
You
right?
don't even have $100. You got 50.
So, and that's what is, it definitely was peak euphoria for Solana in this season. You had Trump launch a meme coin, you had Melania, you had Argentina, you had random countries in Africa launching their own Solana meme coins. And that was, very, very concerning to see the rollout of a meme coin. And I knew that Trump was never going to be able to talk about it again. I jacked up on Trump because I was up. I went from like $5 and then I woke up the next day and it was at $77 a piece. And I was trying to just hold the first meme coin to hit $100. And I rode that thing all the way back down to $17. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm done with it. Don't care. I'm out of here. And yeah, we are very, very, very
He did
sadly
take
down.
office January 20th.
God,
And
it
so
hit just
technically they
about.
said since he took office. And so I'm going to be, authentic here. We're at this price right now. Yeah.
94%.
Yeah, you have $500. You have
94%.
that one's accurate. That one is accurate. Yeah, that one's accurate. Melania, it's actually worse than that. That's crazy. Yeah, some of these are a little bit nutty there. Now, we talked about the Zach XBT expose. This is dropping, I believe, in the next 24 hours. I thought this was a really good idea. So it's talking about, these are the potential companies where the employees are inside trading against you. They're using their knowledge that they're privy to front run markets here. Illegal. I have a great idea. all honest companies in this list should deposit on Polymarket, demonstrate their confidence, and buy 1 million shares of No. If you don't do that, you basically admit you think your employees might be insider trading.
Absolutely. That'd be a great way to flex and be like, hey, we're very confident that we're not in on this. And the amount of options of who is insider trading is, you have Pump Fund, you have Meteora. Meteora is behind that art. It was the Libra token, I believe, is what they were connected to.
Oh, we got Libra story too.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, the Libra's back. Libra's back. We got a Seattleite in here. Are you in Chaz? That's my only question. Are you in the Chaz zone? All right. Now, this is Coinbase. We're going to roll from Coinbase to Circle, and then we're going to talk Meta here. Yahoo Finance gets 150 million monthly visitors. We teased out that Coinbase is going to start doing stock trading. They got a button on Yahoo Finance, trade NVIDIA on Coinbase, and it'll take you straight to that app. Looks like, 8,000 stocks, 24/5 trading, one app. Stock trading is live in the US. Coin is doing very, very well. We doubled up. We doubled up in 24 hours. I gave you this at 90 cents. It ended up pumping through the day because we talked about it early, and now it is up 72%. Now it's more than doubled. It's rising before our eyes.
This is awesome, man.
I'm a trim half the position today, folks.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah,
Protect your profits. Protect your profits. That's you've really increased your financial sword.
It's saving my portfolio for the past 4 months. I will say that.
Absolutely. And I got to give it to you, man. You've been getting involved with those options.
Our silver options were 40x. Actually, it was more like 70x. So it went to $40 and our entry was 60 cents. I didn't hold to 40. We got out at 20. I know. Oh.
Well, it's kind of
Darn.
adapting to your environment too. And I really respect that. Like intelligence is being able to take new information and adjust accordingly. And it's an old saying I have. It's the lion isn't the happiest animal in the jungle. It's the chameleon, the one that's able to adapt to its environment and continue to thrive regardless of market conditions. And I think that that's something very, very important to maybe you weren't able to do that. If you're watching this and you weren't able to adjust your thesis through this last bull/bear market, maybe just take account of where you made a misstep and don't make those mistakes next time. I think so.
Yeah, take inventory. Take
Absolutely.
inventory of your mistakes for 100% there. Everybody, if you can help us out, smash that like button. We really would appreciate it. It really does help us get back in the algo here, especially if we talk about politics and stuff. YouTube can get a little upset at us. All right, let's talk about Circle here. Huge earnings for Circle. Circle, of course, is behind USDC. I wanted to share just one stat from their quarterly report. Net income. Let me put on my accounting hat here on top of my freshly shaved bald head. Revenue is all the money coming in. Income is after you pay your expenses. You can think of it as profit, kind of. Net income is 134 million. 43 cents a share, rose more than 40-fold.
Wow.
So their profit did a 40x. Wall Street loved it. It was supposed to be 16 cents, ended up being 43 cents a share. Wall Street's very, very happy with this. Let's see here. I'm actually going to just throw it on the Circle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you to do because this thing, it's beat down. Like it had to run, but
We've been oh, wow. Whoa, we teleported out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not pull the trigger here. We did get some options. I got in and got out of the options. Options were trading because of the Clarity Act, and we got out at, I think, at a slight loss
This
there.
is a
But
big signal.
this is
though.
huge.
This is
Yeah,
a
this
big
is huge.
signal.
Very, very bullish, people. This is big. This is big. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us retest the top of this. Maybe we get a nice little pump, maybe dump on a Friday, and maybe look for something like that. So if we get back to this range, I might get some more options. I might pull the trigger on some Circle options there, but only if it's like fearful news that's pushing it down. You want to buy into the fear, sell into the greed there. All right, so good news, Circle. Let's go to another stable coin. Libra, but now it's changing. So Meta planning a stable coin comeback. Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. Meta sent out a request for product. It's called an RFP. They sent out the RFP to third-party firms to help stable coin payments. Stripe was mentioned by one source as a likely candidate. Meta famously tried to introduce a stable coin. It was called Libra, later named it Diem, and then 2019 only to be shut down amid regulatory scrutiny. This was, I want to say, they shut it down in 2019. Europe hated it. It was going to be a basket of currencies, but also America hated it because it was a stable coin that wasn't 100% backed by U.S. treasuries.
Right.
And obviously, America, I don't want to say obviously, we have determined that America wants to prop its debt up. And one of the ways they're going to do that is put a lot of debt backing these stable coins, kind of creating not a ghost economy, but buying net buyers for this U.S. debt. Now, the tech giant, which owns Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, they have 3 billion monthly active users. They want to begin a stable integration second half of the year. So we're saying as soon as June, one of these people speaking on anonymity because the plans are not public. Gosh, here we go again. I had to make a meme, Drew. I had to make a meme.
And that looks like Mark.
Well, I fed it images of Mark. I have a mural, and I just pulled one of the photos. There's holes cut in the eyeballs, but I took a photo with my phone and said, "Grok, put this in the Grand Theft Auto meme."
Yeah. Well,
there's holes somewhere else too.
I saw that mural. You have like the edges are burned. There's weird colors on it. It's all right. I remember
there's a certain flag.
Yeah. I remember watching that congressional meeting with Mark Zuckerberg when Congress realized that this guy was about to create a stable coin or a payment rail on a platform that had over 1 billion people on it. That's where we saw the government be like, wait a minute, this is about to get out of our hands a little bit too quick. And this is why we see the government wanting to regulate stable coins first and foremost, right? Because of these social media applications, the Telegram, billion plus users, Facebook, billion plus users, they can cover a vast majority of the world very, very quickly, giving them access to a payment rail. And if it's not controlled by a government, then you take away the main use case of government, which is to control financial flows. Right?
Breaking news. I think we got fresh trades in the Discord here. Trading signal calls. We just got a whole bunch that hit at 10. Looks like, all right, let's roll up a little bit. So folks, we are getting these trades on in the Discord. I've started a new account, no longer trading on LBank. I don't hate LBank or anything. Just their TradingView screen, the screen that they source from TradingView, glitches. It like blinks for a lot of altcoins. So I'm trying to watch Link, and the TradingView screen is just refreshing. And I got annoyed enough. I end up going to ZoomX, and we have a link down below if you want to check out ZoomX here. Let's see. So this is 945. Let's go. All right. So we did have 2 stop losses. This is basically shorting into the market, but there's a long string of longs. So it's like, and we're talking about like 12 longs for the 2 shorts, and the 2 shorts triggered before the longs. Those shorts stopped out. But then look at you saw the other string of wins. Long string of wins. They put the losses, they put the wins. Just trying to be transparent here. These are the ones breaking. Woohoo! Holy crap. Okay, okay, it can't all be. Oh, that's
the ones being stopped. Those are shorts, and it's like there's a lot of understandable reason why good traders are looking at shorts to continue trying to short the market. I mean, you've been making money hand over fist shorting the market leading up to yesterday, essentially. It was kind of funny for me. I just chose my own direction, and apparently I was going counter to the market. I ended up grabbing like 140% on one trade, and then another one was an 80% gain. And I did it live during the tariff announcement or the State of the Union announcement. So that felt good. Trading is how I had the most fun in 2025, and I'm off to a great start this year. If you do want to learn how to trade, understand that you have to have someone in your corner, or you have to pay the tuition for years on end out of your own pocket to get profitable. So, join the Discord. You can trade on 2Bit, ZoomX, Blowfin, and I'm about to set up the copy bot on Blowfin as well, so that I can catch those quant trades in the middle of the night, just with another bag, because I wake up to all those take profits all the time, and I can't stay up all night. So I'm just going to do the copy bot.
There you go. Nice little piece of advice there. Let's check in on Bitcoin on the short-term time frames here. Still seeing that bullishness, somewhat peter out on some of these smaller time frames. So 5 minutes still showing a little bit of bearishness. 7 minutes still showing that just basically that kind of straight move to the downside here. You see the RSI is losing strength. But what do we always say? The bull divs and bear divs can keep printing. Doesn't mean it has to reverse here at this point. It just means a reversal is going to be likely as long as this kind of holds. And you can see it on the 12-minute, and it looks like, okay, we did break the 30-minute. So if you remember, this was like that. Now that 30-minute is fighting into this here. So the bullishness might continue. So now officially have mixed signals. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, it's starting to return bullish. Did we get
Go,
a little
Bitcoin,
move?
go.
Yeah, I mean, you see the bears failing. That's a doji reversal candle right there, though. So this is the moment where the bears fell over, keeled over, dead.
Yeah,
Right there. That's your
absolutely
signal.
crazy. You know, you think about it, if it keeps moving up just generally to the right, there's going to be people that are stuck in disbelief for months on end, regardless of price action, right? Because it has been so violent to the downside for the last 2 months. People can only look down with a sense of surety.
Yeah, it's this meme. Up, it's red. Oh shit, here we go again. You
Yeah.
know, I felt like CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Absolutely. You know, and flipping bearish helped me make money when we lost. I think it was where we lost 86 and then just started cascading down. I was able to make a lot of money on the way down. And even Crypto Crank, I just messaged him. We're going to have him on tomorrow's show. He helped me break my mentality when we did lose $100,000 as well. But, you know, now we're seeing a moment where Bitcoin is trying to defend itself. And I put a video out saying it was the bottom right around 60,000 bucks. When we hit that 5 on fear and greed, I put my neck out on the line and I said, we're going to defend this level. Generally speaking, still prepared if we hit that 54 mark for the lower washout to really, really cause max chaos, max confusion, and max fear. But honestly, I've never seen Bitcoin be talked about so badly in my entire history.
I mean, the fear was pushed down forever and ever. You
Right.
know, so I mean, we are in a unique phase right now for sure when it comes
Absolutely.
to just bearishness on Bitcoin. You know, we joked earlier about that post, but a lot of people are like, all right, well, quantum's just going to steal everyone's crypto. I don't know. I'm
Just
just
get
going to
in the
buy this
coffin.
shiny rock instead.
Yeah, just get in the coffin. The world's going to end. They're going to break encryption. Everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket. And this is where we have to be reasonable about how fast the world is changing. You have to acknowledge that.
Hey, thank you. Follow me on X. And folks, if you are watching on X, we do appreciate it if you want to give us a like, maybe even a repost. Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I want to share this also bullish news here. MasterCard hiring a director of crypto flows. The role own card-based crypto on-ramp, stablecoin linked issuance, size and scale a stablecoin, upgrade network rules, and risk rails for Web3 transactions. Looks like not enough people have clicked this. Now, this is older. Looks like it was reposted a couple weeks ago, but now a lot of people have found this, starting to run with this, saying, all right, we got the world's second largest credit card issuer diving deep into crypto. Pumped up fun. Woo! Active wallets are down 70% just in the last fortnight. People are finally tired of getting rugged daily. Casino phase is ending. Turns out infinite scams kills user retention. Drew, let me ask you a question. Do you think people are tired of gambling, Solana meme coin trenches, and now maybe just spot buying quality alts?
I think they'll just find something else to gamble on. You know,
I feel like
meme
buying
coins-
Chainlink is a gamble.
You feel like buying Chainlink is a gamble? Or you
It
don't?
certainly has felt that way as a holder.
Yeah, I mean it's an altcoin. I hope that more.
Yeah, it's an altcoin. God damn it, he's right.
I hope that more you know, support comes back to the layer 1 infrastructure. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin has been selling because he wants an initiative to build out quantum infrastructure and trying to move Ethereum forward, and he is actively selling Ethereum to fund those ventures, right? People are crashing out, saying that he's abandoning. I really don't see Ethereum selling and then moving those funds into a movement from Vitalik Buterin to take that advancement on himself is a bad thing. And I don't think that layer 1s are going to die in general, but something you said about the Athena insiders dumping on us, the pain will not stop.
Yeah, the tokenomics is a completely different story on whether or not a company is good. Like the
Right.
company behind a token and the token oftentimes are two very distinct things. Now, oftentimes it's very aligned. Sometimes it's couldn't be more disaligned.
And that's where, some of the realization that I've had to have when it came to even Chainlink, funding its ventures and employees with selling. They are buying treasuries of Chainlink, but hey, thanks. We got a good show, Crypto Mike. Appreciate you, man. I've come to the realization that, and I did this last market, I was a Bitcoin maximalish until I saw alt season peak its potential, head out of the sand. And then I shifted into access to altcoins. It's all generally controlled by the weekly money flow for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Where's the dominance at right now here? We got a 58 marker. Starting to maybe try to break down here. What do you think about this?
No, I mean, it does look like we are slowly but surely potentially heading into a risk-on environment. Bitcoin has bled against alts. 11% here. So it's fallen 7%, 66 to 58.
Yeah. And there are altcoins that I have FOMO on right now. Like Morpho is killing me, man. It's just being so vicious, and I have not seen anything break on Morpho. I like Canton still a lot, and I still hold a little bit of Chainlink too, for sure. But look at that Morpho move. I mean, this thing is taking no prisoners. And so, there are altcoins that I'm actively still holding and bullish on. But when we go through the time frame of a washout like we just saw, we have to be protecting capital. For God's sakes, that's the move here, is protecting capital. So what do you think about the levels that we're getting into? Because $2 was resistance for some time. It was support for some time. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw me do it live. I purposely didn't look at today's price action and just saw this. And then I just drew the rectangle over, and then we zoomed into the 1 hour. Oh, look at that, man. I mean, I couldn't have been more perfect unless I moved it, a penny.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
87 to 88. So yeah, literally a penny.
Yeah. In moving forward, I don't think that crypto is dead. I have a friend that called me last night, DZ. He's starting to invest, and I have been begging him to look at Bitcoin since $5,000 a piece. He's always told me that it's stupid, it's a scam, shut up, Drew, whatever. And
I don't want your stupid magic internet money that's not real.
And I was like, you know what? And so you're so sure that Bitcoin and proof of work is a scam, don't buy it. At a point, and I'm very serious about this. If you don't believe in something and you hate something, don't go there. If you don't like America, don't live there. If you don't like Bitcoin, don't hold it, right?
People are wondering, can we copy trade the quant trades? Yeah, we're trying to build a bot. We put a guy on it and he couldn't get it where we wanted. And so instead of putting out something that's subpar, people are going to get mad. We'd rather just not put out anything unless it's perfect. So we are working on trading bots where basically your Discord signal hits, opens up a trade for you immediately. You can sign in. But again, this is something that has to be built. We got a crack team on it, but like I said, we had to pivot. I think we pivoted a week or two ago. Again, it wasn't where we wanted. Drew, we kind of had something, but you couldn't do stop losses and you couldn't do take profits. So we weren't happy with that, because how terrible would it be if it did open up some trade, you're in profit, it doesn't close the trade, and then you go down to loss and you wake up because the trade was at 4 a.m. Now it's 8 a.m. and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So we 100% are not going to do it unless we can have the bots do the take profit, do the stop loss. We need all the tools, and we're going to have the bot do it.
We smoked the bear out of his cave, it looks like, DZ. Tim Warren in the chat out there.
Yeah. Big shout out to Tim Warren. I did use the IGV chart in yesterday's video, and we were talking about Tim and the IGV chart. He was so big shout out to Tim Warren. I'm going to pull up his account right here.
Yeah.
Just Tim Warren Trades.
We are pumping well here right now. We're at $68,000 per Bitcoin actively as we're speaking here. So it's feeling very, very good.
And this guy can deadlift more than your favorite crypto influencer.
He's scary. He is scary.
Oh, yes. He has farmer strength.
Yeah. And when we had to have because on the blockchain basement, we had our TIFF and he came in for a counseling session on the Blockchain Basement. He laid on the couch. His thigh was half the size of the couch. Do not mess with Tim Warren. He's very kind-hearted, but it's one of those
Why are you staring at
people.
another man's thighs?
Well, he was like laying on the couch. I was like, what in the hell
Why is he
your
laying
leg
on
doing?
the couch now?
Well, because it's a therapy session. I was talking to him and I was his therapist, and when I look back at the video, I was like, God, this person is gigantic. Oh, we got a super chat as well.
Super chat about
Netflix.
Chainlink. Can we get a current up-to-date deep dive vid on Chainlink, debating holding the link bag or swapping to Bitcoin here? First, let's look at this Chainlink pump on the daily. This is a daily Chainlink pump against Bitcoin.
Wow.
And so, like we said, it does look like Bitcoin is crashing somewhat. We did pull the trigger a little bit early on some link into Bitcoin. We saw this strong support. Jumped in around here. It was a great trade. Oh my God, I knew we were geniuses.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I'm a retard. Excuse my language. I shouldn't. I'm sorry.
You dropped the
earmuffs.
hard R.
But now we're back to I don't think I caught the exact bottom. So I'm probably at a slight loss. I don't know if I should just swap that back to Bitcoin at this point.
Yeah.
It was
I wouldn't like that's hand in the cookie jar type action, right? It's still at $9.30, so we haven't broken above. Like we have a lot of
Whew.
resistance above our
Bullish.
heads right now.
bullish.
Oh.
So this is 100% nice little bull div on the daily. But we've talked about this ad nauseum. It's a 3-day. Oh my God, it's there. I was going to say it's the 3-day bull divs that you have to watch. But another thing with Chainlink, oh my God, it did do it. Drew, I'm about to turn bullish on Chainlink. I identified this in a video a long time ago. The 3-day bull divs happen in pairs with Chainlink. It doesn't pump until the second time. 1, 2, pump. 1, 2, pump. That's me and the ladies. 1, 2, pump.
It finished so quick.
We have two right
Oh my
here,
God.
Drew. 1, 2,
my
pump.
Lord.
That's looking good for Chainlink. There's also some good news. 3 cryptos are going to be allowed for the Charles Schwab Prime Money Market Fund, Bitcoin, ETH, and Chainlink. So that's very good. So Chainlink USD chart looks very bullish. I'm loving this. I hate that, someone's on the sideline. They're like, well, I just buy the top of this green candle. I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit lower than 937 some point over the next 5 days. I would say, at least until Monday morning.
Mhm.
But Chainlink Bitcoin also potentially clawing back into this area of
Ye-
support. Look how long the support goes back. This is only April 2025. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is ancient. I was like, I felt like it was ancient support. It's ancient support. If we could turn this line into support, that's very bullish for Chainlink. Because when Chainlink does go bullish against Bitcoin, it can go bullish against Bitcoin.
Right. It can move very, very fast.
So
Honestly,
that's
like
good Chainlink analysis for you there. I hope that was well worth it.
I might use some of the new tether to pad out because like I got out of Chainlink at around like 12 or 13 bucks, just watching out for the dip and wanting to see some. I got some new tether. I could pad out the bags that I am sitting on because structurally Chainlink is still useful for price oracle movements in crypto. There is that.
Mhm.
And it hasn't really lost that use case. We've just gone through this disgusting lackluster alt season for layer ones or Chainlink being an oracle, but it's not like we didn't have a bull run. It just happened too quick for altcoins. No one was ready to take profits, and my own price targets were hit, so I got out of the way. I felt like an idiot. For selling in March and December 24 because it was way ahead of when we expected things to happen, but nothing happens exactly how we expect it. But Chainlink at this Bitcoin comparison level, man, it is waking up really, really nicely. That is good to see.
Love to see it there. Love to see it. This does look very good. Last thing, we covered this in depth yesterday where Binance working with Iran, and we dove into it, and they had a company that they had, doing $1 billion in trading volume. Technically, it was $500 million, 500 million, and they work with a paving company that lays asphalt, that buys like petroleum byproducts, as a construction company that's like buying oil. So what happens is a tanker leaves Iran, it lands in China, and then that oil finds its way into the Chinese economy. Drew, do you think when a Iranian oil tanker hits a Chinese shore, it's like in the cover of darkness and they're like meeting in the alleyway and it's like, all right, give me $1 million for the tanker. And he's like, here's the keys. And he like runs to the tanker and he like, zzz.
It's
No,
exactly like
it's
that.
all state sponsored. So it's like you're doing work with Chinese companies that have Chinese licenses. And then, but there's an Iranian oil connect. We broke it down in depth yesterday. So folks, if you missed yesterday's live stream, go check that out. But yeah, I just thought this headline was a little bit funny. Now the senators are going to be launching probes. We know what this is. This is FUD. They never said what entity A is.
Yeah.
Remember?
And this is, American hegemony flexing its media might, right? This is BRICS versus NATO, which is led by America. And so you have two different factions that are pieing for power. One of them is in power, which is the US, and the other is BRICS, which wants that power.
Mhm.
And they're going to be enemies. Nature abhors a void, and you always have a leader of the world. You can't, it's not this pie that you slice in half and everyone just stays on their side. This is not how humanity works, and you're going to see bias whichever side of the coin you're on right now. Bitcoin, God, it's at $68,000, DZ. It's at $68,000. It's just breaking out of my preferred spot entry points, literally right here. This is so good to see. So good to see a little bit of a pump here. Is that the 3-day? We got the 12-minute here. Man.
Yeah, we're right before Drew were saying it's going to sweep this little liquidity. It did that. Now this is obviously going to be the next level right here, and then we're going to have the next level right there, and then ultimate final boss 70,900, and then it goes higher and higher from there. But right now it is looking pretty good. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Check this shorter term RSI. RSI is staying oversold. Like we said, it can continue to go and go and go. That's why we drew that white line out, and it does. Oh, look at that, Drew. 7-minute, we're starting to show a break in the bearish divergences here. Probably, blasted past that. We had it where it was. You see where it paused? Went even higher right there. The bulls are in charge as of now. Just be careful out there, folks.
Right after Jane Street called out for manipulation, the timing of this is just impeccable. There is no manipulative, massive downward spike. This guy, the fedora, the blazer, the flower, it should tell you everything we need to know. And the smile.
The belt at the tensile limit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited for the video tonight. The timing of this expose, absolutely beautiful. And, I think it's going to be all okay. It's just we have to control our emotions in this very, very volatile environment right now.
That's right. And if you are an emotional trader, make sure you're joining the trading Discord and come join us, follow our trades. You can see our profits. You can see our losses. It does weekly P&Ls. Highly recommend you go check that out. It's all free, by the way. We're not trying to charge you a monthly fee for this. But folks, hit that like button on the way out. We do appreciate you watching this long, especially. We'll see you folks in the future, and stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications. Drew is exposing Jane Street. It's going to be a barn burner, folks. That's all we got. Adios.